On this episode of The Balancing Act, an organization that's helping expecting mothers provide for their babies, plus a new way of addiction recovery that works. We'll introduce you to a school that is changing the way children in the Bronx are learning. All of this and so much more on The Balancing Act.
You're going to love our first story.
Every year, 1 million babies are born into poverty in the United States. For over 20 years, Room to Grow has been helping parents during the most crucial time of a child's life, the first 3 years.
The first 3 years are so important for a baby's growth because 80% of all human brain development occurs in those years. During this time, infant toddlers are learning from their earliest relationships with parents and caregivers, making these adults the primary source of their direction and growth in these earliest years. Room to Grow is a 3-year program that provides critical support to families raising babies born into low-income circumstances. Families meet with Room to Grow program team members once a quarter for 3 years, and they talk about the child's development, the challenges and joys of parentinghood, and brainstorm strategies and resources in supporting families meeting their goals.
We start meeting with families and mothers during the mother's 3rd trimester of pregnancy, and after the baby's born, meet with the family every 3 months until the child turns 3 and graduates from our program. During that time, we do 3 main things. We partner with families and caregivers to provide support, parenting education, coaching on a whole host of areas. We also provide families with all of the essential resources that they need in those first 3 years of life. Clothing, books, toys, equipment, you name it, we provide it. In fact, over the first 3 years of a family's experience in our program, the retail value of all of those items is approximately $10,000. And the 3rd pillar of our program is we provide families warm connections to other resources in the community that will help them achieve their goals as a family.
And at the time, he was going to school and I was the only one that was working. We did not have family to help us. It was just me and him. All of my family's in Dominican Republic, all of his family is in Pennsylvania. And this was, our 2nd child, but we still we had them both back to back. We were still figuring out a lot of stuff. And so I thought, yeah, this sounds like something that we need in our lives right now. To be able to not have to think what to buy was like a gift on its own. There's already so many hormones in my body and so many things that I have to do and get done. So I was like, I need stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna go here. And then I met the staff and I met the people, and I got to sit down with one of the providers, and I got to talking, and I got to, share my thoughts and my feelings and my emotions and my worries about being a mom and whether I was gonna be a good mom.
Room to Grow supports expecting families of all types. There are no requirements around age, citizenship, marital or relationship status, or the number of children.
If I were to meet someone that was pregnant and was feeling lost like I was and needed some guidance, I would tell them that Room to Grow is all of that, but more.
There are many ways to get involved with Room to Grow. First and foremost, consider volunteering in one of our family centers. We are powered by many, many helping hands of volunteers to help us sort through the baby and toddler items that fill our boutique. In addition to volunteering, all of the items that fill our boutique are donated from the community. And so if you have baby and toddler items at home that have been gently loved and are ready for another life, please consider sending them our way. Finally, as a nonprofit organization, we rely on the support of many partners to do this work alongside us. So considering donating to Room to Grow is a great way to support.
If you'd like to get involved in the organization, visit their website, roomtogrow.org, or go to our website, thebalancingact.com.
Are you ready for something new? Take a look at this.
According to the CDC, the United States overdose rates for 2021 topped 103,000 people. That means that in 2021, more Americans died from an overdose than all gun violence and auto accidents combined.
I'm an alcoholic and recovering drug addict myself. My sober date is August 2nd, 1990. So for the last 32 years, I've managed to not pick up a drink or a drug, which is a pretty amazing feat. My sister died of a heroin overdose. My nephew and several cousins and more friends that I can count have had drug problems over the years and perished. So what I did was I decided that I was able and blessed enough to get sober and stay sober this length of time. So I figured what I would do is I'd try telling other people how I did it. I wrote a book. The book went #1 on Amazon. And from there, we wound up becoming a licensed treatment facility. The rest is history.
Currently, 1 in 5 Americans meet the clinical criteria for substance use disorder. Yet, less than 10% will receive any treatment for this deadly disease during their lifetime. The need has never been greater, and treatment options never so few. That's why Brian and his full recovery team developed Freedom 365, a 100% confidential, comprehensive, personalized program available 24/7 on your phone, tablet, or PC.
The reason people struggle to get help is pretty basic. It's #1, the stigma. Nobody wants to walk in the door. Nobody wants to say, hey, listen, I have this problem. I'm outing myself. So the stigma is the hardest thing to overcome. Besides that, it's the cost. You know, people don't have the money. They don't have the deductibles. They really can't go out there and say, hey, look, I could afford to take 30 days off of work to go into a treatment center. So the reason for coming up with our new product, which is mental health software, self-guided, was to open this up that anybody, every American citizen who needs help can get help right now for pennies a day. So Freedom 365, being it's a digital software program, we can pack so much information in this. It's self-guided, it's self-directed. You don't have the stigma of having to walk in the door and saying, hey, look, I have this problem. You can go in anytime, anywhere, 24/7 and get the type of information that you need, because it includes assessments, it includes a 28-day program, it includes a full year of support, and if you need a higher level of care, that's available too. But the difference is, you can do it for under $1 a day. It's anonymous. You don't have to put any information in there besides your email. It's confidential. We will never contact you. And any information that you answer about yourself is on your own password protected device. We have no access to it. Our whole goal is to get recovery out there. You know, this is like having a recovery coach in your pocket 24/7. The best part of the program is that it's available immediately when you want it. I want to take an assessment. I want to start. You don't have to tell your spouse. You don't have to tell your boss. You don't have to tell your insurance company. It's completely anonymous and private. But stigma, the fear of being outed, is one of the major hurdles that people have to getting help. So what we do is we offer them a way to stick their toe in the water, see what the life and recovery is all about, and they don't have to take that big leap into outing themselves. The main goal is of course having a quality life, an abundant life. Nobody wants to just put the plug in the jug or put down their drug that they've been using to coping with. Everybody wants the same thing. They want an abundant life. It's funny because people think that alcoholics and addicts are lazy or shiftless. You know, think about this. Few people are as committed as an alcoholic or an addict when they want what they want. I would have risked my health, my family, my life. That's really a skill set. So we show people how to take that God-given character trait, draw it out, and point it towards their dreams. We teach them how to think. There's got to be a complete psychic change if you plan on having long-term recovery like I do. And that's really what it's all about. It's a physical, emotional, and spiritual disease, but it affects us financially, our careers, our relationships. So only a holistic approach to the problem will help people stay sober long-term.
If you're ready to seek help for an addiction or you have a loved one suffering, visit their website, vrsfreedom365.com, or go to our website, thebalancingact.com.
These amazing stories keep coming, just like this one.
Are you experiencing issues in your marriage? Are you considering a change? If you're thinking about a divorce, there's some important steps you need to take with your lawyer.
When a client first comes into my office, the most important thing is to take the temperature of the marital friction. Also, I allow a client to tell me a story. Clients are anxious to tell the narrative, the story of why they're there. I then seek to determine whether the client has access to all the documents relating to the potential divorce action, like bank statements and credit card statements and brokerage statements and deeds and the financial documents. The 4 issues in any matrimonial action are grounds for divorce, and in New York and New Jersey, both have no-fault provisions for irretrievable breakdowns or irreconcilable differences, depending on which state you're in. Custody, legal custody, and decisions regarding the children in the marriage, and residential custody where the children live. Alimony and maintenance. New York, it's called maintenance. In New Jersey, it's alimony. Child support. And equitable distribution, which is applicable in both New York and New Jersey. It's not a 50-50 split automatically like in a state like California. So if the parties are on speaking terms and although they've agreed to have a divorce, they're interested in solving the problem, there's something called the collaborative divorce, which is like a do-it-yourself divorce, where you don't go to court. You can go to court and have an uncontested divorce, but a collaborative divorce is where the 2 parties sit down with their lawyers in 4-way meetings, sign an agreement to make it non-adversarial and solve the problem, and seek to resolve each of the 4 issues I spoke about. And then when they've agreed on everything, then they would go to court and put the divorce through as an uncontested divorce. On the issue of custody, the issue is whether it's going to be contested or not. Those outcomes are apparent. On alimony and child support, in 2017, the law changed, where alimony is no longer deductible for the payor and included in income for the payee. In equitable distribution, again, it depends upon the facts of the case, and particularly the standard of living of the parties during the marriage. Can they maintain that standard of living after the divorce? When a client comes into my office, I seek to identify all the different types of property that a client owns. Anything that the parties obtained from the date of the marriage through the date of the commencement of divorce is deemed marital property. Now, there are exceptions. If one party makes a gift to another, then it becomes separate property. What you bring into a marriage at the beginning is separate property. Inheritances are separate property. In New York, the cap on alimony is $203,000, which is the payor's income, and there's a formula for determining what the alimony is. There's no such set formula in New Jersey. In New York, although there's a cap of $203,000, a judge can go above a cap in certain circumstances, depending upon the facts in the case.
When you're considering a divorce, it's best to leave the details to the experts. Visit their website, elliottpell.com, or go to our website, thebalancingact.com.
That was amazing, and this is too.
Choosing the right education for your children is a daunting task. Picking a school that has the community in mind and a strong curriculum is key.
Charters, in my opinion, raise the level of accountability, because if you don't perform at the level that the state stipulates, your charter will not be renewed. So I see it as a positive thing because they'll give you autonomy. You are allowed the decision-making power. You can control the hiring of your principal, the hiring of teachers. You can have a significant input into your curriculum. So my vision was rooted in the fact that I believe that children of color can perform just as good as white children, given the right visionary leadership at the principal level. And if we trained competent teachers, that our children had the same potential as white kids in the suburbs to perform at a high level. It's one that come from the outside. Those are the high-powered networks like Success or KIPS, or kind of the corporate charter school. And then there's ours, which is community grown. That means it's organic to the community. It came out of the Latino Pastoral Action Center, which is the community sponsor.
Family Life Academy charter schools are what I call the real deal, right? So we are an amazing set of schools. We believe in rigorous instruction, quality academic instruction. Our schools are engaging, they're fun. You're gonna see a lot of learning, a lot of love of learning from not only the teachers, but especially the students. Our parents enjoy sending their children to Family Life Academy Charter School. And then we know how to connect and really communicate with all of our learners. So you're gonna see compassion for all of our students, and it's just excitement from everyone who's there. At Family Life Academy Charter Schools, we service kids from kinder to 12th grade, and you're gonna see that culture, the same culture of loving and compassionate teachers, educators throughout, regardless of the grades.
The curriculum here at our school is very student-focused. We are inquiry-based, which means that the students are the ones who develop and discover the information on their own, and the teachers act more as a facilitator, guiding them in making those decisions. We do follow the state standards, but the biggest difference for us is that we have a bit more flexibility in the curriculums that we choose for our students. We get to explore, develop, analyze all different types of curricula that exist throughout the country, honestly, and determine which ones work best for our students and our network.
Education is so important because we're shaping our future. Every single day when our students walk through our doors, we are looking at our future. The work we do is so important. From the very first day of kindergarten, we believe in having our students be self-empowered. And like I said, it starts from day one, building those feelings within our students, letting them know they have a voice, and their voice is important.
When we're looking for teachers, there's a saying that I believe in, right? You can train so many different things. You can train and educate teachers on how to teach, right? But you cannot train compassion and love for children. So if you're looking for schools for your children, know that I am a parent. So my son has been at our schools since kindergarten, and I dare you to find a principal that will send their child to the school that they lead, right? That's how authentic and genuine all of our schools are.
To learn more, visit their website, flacsnyc.com, or go to our website, thebalancingact.com.
Time for a wardrobe upgrade? Here's some inspiration.
Jakett is about finding the beauty in imperfection. Their jackets are perfectly imperfect, making each one as rare a find as the person wearing it.
I was schooled as an architect, being in the family tradition. And although I was always interested in constructing things and putting things together with bricks and mortar and beams, it was not as rewarding as I always saw the instant reaction when you were able to design clothing. When you're constructing something, the materials that you use are so important, and it really is the soul of the product. Through all the years that I've been in the industry, traveling around the world and being in and out of factories and laboratories and watching craftspeople, I've always been fascinated by how easy it is to use leather as a medium, because it's sturdy and it drapes, and it's actually biblical. It was our first form of clothing.
Since 2008, Jakett has been inspired by the culture and traditions of the people of the Middle East. The lamb and goat skins they treat are supple, thinner, and stronger, making them ideal for tailoring. Jakett is not the first to work on leather, but they believe Joseph's eye and highly technical process elevates the old school craft.
We start with an idea of a proportion, of a shape. And once we recognize the shape that we're trying to accomplish, then it makes it easy to select the skin. The general aesthetic of Jakett and JKT, my two largest brands, is always has been about vintage and embracing the natural imperfections of the skins. Normally, people look at leather jackets as outerwear pieces. And the thing that I've always prided Jakett and JKT on is my execution of raw edges. And the beautiful thing is because leather doesn't fray, you can cut it and it just stays that way. You can join the two pieces of skin together, stitch them, and it makes it so much lighter weight and thinner, and it helps it drape. And that's the essence, I think, of our brand.
The same jacket can do all these things. You can wear the same jacket depending on your style to go out with friends for a nice casual sort of lunch. You can delve together a little bit more and go out for dinner, and then the sexy sort of night out. Again, the same jacket, just changing the outfit, the hair a little bit, going into the heels. But the amazing thing is the diversity and flexibility of the product.
I think what's fantastic about Jakett is that it offers so much to so many women's fashionalities. The versatility is number one. I think that what strikes everyone the most, there's such a large offering for sophisticated women, for fun party girls in downtown New York City. So I think there's a large breadth. The second most prevalent thing is the skins and the quality of the skins. I've worked for the most luxurious brands in the industry, and this leather is the most luxurious leather available at a price point that people can afford. The most fun part of what I do for Jakett is when I'm in a store doing a trunk show and somebody tries it on for the first time, and the first thing almost all of them say is, "I look so cool." And I think that's probably what everybody will find the second they slide their arms into a Jakett jacket.
When you look at leather from Jakett, you see more than a garment. You see thousands of years of craftsmanship stitched into the seams, drum dyed onto the skin, or hand waxed onto the surface. Their process ensures that every jacket is as rarefied as the person wearing it. It's about a statement piece, a jacket that is made not to cover an outfit, but to make an outfit. Check out their website, jakett.com, or go to our website, thebalancingact.com.
Well, planning a big event can feel like a daunting task, but fear not. Our guest that's here today is here to show us how easy it really can be. Stephanie Meininger is the president and CEO of Group to Go. Welcome, Stephanie. Thanks so much for being here.
Hi, Montel. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, you know, tell me a little bit about your planning company, your event planning company. You've been doing this for a while, right?
Yes. I started Group to Go back in 2002. That was 20 years ago. And prior to that, I worked for Starwood Hotels and Resorts. But I knew at the time that I could branch out on my own and start my own company, and I did just that.
And, you know, many folks think that hiring, a group travel or an event planner like you costs a lot of money, but it's really the opposite. Is that right?
That is 100% correct, and the best part, we are a complimentary service which allows our clients to free up their time to focus on the critical core of their business. You know, all day long, all we do is book guest rooms and meeting space and work on site at our clients' events. So we're really well-versed in what we need to do to make sure that events happen smoothly.
And you get to save money by negotiating the rates. I mean, how exactly does that work?
So on a daily basis, we are reaching out to our hotel partners, booking guest rooms and meeting space. We sit down with our clients and we find out exactly what their needs and wants are. We then put that together, and with one press, we send that out across the country, wherever it needs to go. And then we receive responses back. We then negotiate each of those rates down for our client to make sure they're getting the best rate possible with all those value add-ins that they're looking for so they don't have any hidden costs when it comes time for their event.
Well, is there a difference between negotiating rates and travel planning for big groups, let's say corporate sponsors, or maybe small association groups, or even smaller ones? Is there a difference?
Absolutely. So when we're working with a large group, oftentimes we have a large booking window because we need to make sure, let's say they need 400,000 square feet at a convention center. Sometimes those are booked 6 and 10 years out. And we're looking for certain things like overflow blocks. What happens when the first hotel block sells out? We need to make sure we have in place all of those additional hotels. As opposed to a small meeting, we're looking for maybe an eclectic space. Maybe the client wants an intimate space. Maybe they want it to be really funky.
And now you've just recently expanded your business to include something called travel planner workshops to help people who are interested in the travel business, let's say, search out a new career.
Absolutely. Travel Planner Workshops was born out of a true passion of mine. I love what I do for work, and people are always asking me, what's it like to work in the travel industry? What kind of perks do you get in the travel industry? Do you travel a lot? How are you a mom of 3 working full-time? How do you put that all together? And so Travel Planner Workshops is designed to work with all individuals, hobbyists, people looking for a career change, people who were looking for some side stream revenue, and train them on all the elements of the travel industry so they can go out and run their own travel company, eventually work within our travel company. But the best part of this program that really helps people is that they can earn and learn at the same time, and they can start learning how we collect commission for events, thus offering this great complimentary service to their clients and learn how to negotiate those best rates. Everyone wins. The hotel partners are happy, the vendors are happy, the clients are happy, we're happy. We're all happy.
And a person learning gets to work with you, right?
Absolutely, I do. I teach some of the classes within Travel Planner Workshops, and everybody who flows through either Group to Go or Travel Planner Workshops works with me in some capacity. I'm definitely hands-on and happy to talk to anybody that wants to work with me.
That's great. Well, if people wanted to hear more information, where do they go?
So they can come to our website at grouptogo.com, GROUPTOGO.com, or they can visit us on Facebook in the group section under Travel Planner Workshops, or on Instagram under Travel Planner Workshops.
Of course, if you want more information, you can also go up on our website, which is thebalancingact.com. I got to thank you, Stephanie, for being here and sharing that information with us today, okay?
Thank you so much for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us on this local edition of The Balancing Act. We'll see you next time.